Hey everyone, and welcome back to Hi and Kai. I'm Hi, and I am so stoked for our deep dive today.
I'm Kai.
We are going to be talking about something that sounds really complex, but it's actually pretty cool once you kind of wrap your head around it.
Yeah?
It's called Retrieval-Augmented Generation.
Ooh, that's a mouthful.
It is a mouthful, but we can just call it RAG for short.
Oh, much better rag.
So to kind of set the stage, I always love a good analogy.
I like where this is going.
Okay, so picture this. You're in a courtroom, and the judge is brilliant, right? Knows the law inside and out. But even the smartest judge needs a clerk to pull up specific cases, double-check precedents, the nitty-gritty details.
So you're saying rag is like the AI version of that super organized court clerk.
Bingo. That is exactly it.
I love it.
I found this NVIDIA blog post, and it explained it perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
So we have these large language models, these LLMs that everyone is talking about.
Right.
They're the judge is great with general knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
but sometimes they need a little extra help to give truly authoritative answers.
That makes total sense. I mean, we've all seen AI chatbots kind of go off the rails a bit, right? Giving vague or even completely made up answers.
Exactly. And that's because even though LLMs are trained on massive amounts of data, they don't actually know specific facts. They're more like masters of predicting the next word in a sentence.
Okay.
So sometimes they hallucinate, basically making things up to fit the pattern.
So that's where Ari comes in to provide that reality check.
Precisely. Ari connects LLMs to external knowledge bases, think databases, research papers, even internal company documents.
So instead of one textbook, it's like giving them access to a whole library.
You got it. And that is what makes AI responses more accurate and trustworthy, because it's actually pulling from real verified sources.
Okay, so more trustworthy, but is there a way to verify where the information is coming from?
That is one of the coolest things about RAG. It actually lets AI models cite their sources like footnotes in a research paper.
Oh, wow. So no more blind trust.
Exactly. Transparency is key.
Yeah, definitely. And this has huge implications for how we use AI in the real world.
Absolutely. The NVIDIA blog highlighted some really cool examples, like doctors using a RAG to access medical data tunces for the latest research, financial analysts getting real-time market data to make better decisions. Businesses creating AI assistants that know all their internal policies and procedures.
Wow, it's like having an expert on call for every situation.
It really is. And get this, you can even run this stuff on your laptop.
Wait, really?
Yeah, NVIDIA has software that lets you run these LLMs and RAG on PCs with their RTX GPUs. You can even connect to your own personal data for truly personalized results.
That's mind-blowing. Imagine an AI assistant that knows your emails, your notes, your entire digital life.
Right. It can answer questions in a way that's totally relevant to you.
That would be incredible.
But before we get too carried away with the future, let's break down how RAG actually works, step by step.
Okay, sounds good.
Imagine you're asking an AI a question. Let's say, what was the highest grossing film of 2023?
Okay, so step one, the AI receives the question from the user. Simple enough.
Right now, the AI model needs to translate that question into something a computer can understand. Think of it like converting your question into a search query that can be used to actually find information.
So transforming human language into computer language. Got it. What happens next?
This is where Ari steps in and takes that computer-friendly query and searches through a knowledge base for relevant information. This knowledge base could be a massive database of movie stats, in our example.
So Ari is like the ultimate research assistant sifting through mountains of data to find the answer.
Exactly. And it does this incredibly fast, comparing the question to potentially millions of data points in just a split second.
Okay, and once Arby finds the answer, which is the highest grossing film of 2023, it gives that information back to the AI model.
Right, and the AI model then presents that answer to potentially even adding in where it found the information, according to Box Office Mojo.
So not just a raw answer, but context and verification. That's huge for transparency.
Absolutely. And that, in a nutshell, is the magic of Arby. It's like giving AI a superpowered research team working behind the scenes.
I like it.
But as with any powerful tool, there are also important considerations about how we use this technology responsibly.
Right. Just because AI can access a lot of information doesn't mean it's always right or unbiased.
Exactly. We need to be mindful of the potential pitfalls and ensure that RAG is used ethically. But for now, let's continue exploring the possibilities.
Okay, let's dive into some of the real-world applications of RAG and see how it's already changing the way we work and learn. So we've talked about the basic idea of how RAG works, but I think it's worth digging a little deeper into this whole knowledge base thing.
I'm all for a deeper dive.
What makes them tick, you know?
That's easy to imagine AI just plugging into a database.
Yeah.
But there's got to be more to it, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think of a knowledge base like a massive, meticulously organized library.
Okay.
It's not just a random collection of data. It's structured and indexed in a way that a computer can actually understand and search through effectively.
So it's not just like throwing a bunch of files into a folder.
No, not at all. There's a lot of very sophisticated technology involved in building and maintaining these knowledge bases.
Okay.
Data needs to be cleaned, it needs to be categorized, tagged with relevant metadata. It's like having an army of librarians working behind the scenes to make sure everything is in its right place and easily searchable.
So how does Arga know which book to pull off the shelf, so to speak, when it's answering a question?
Right.
I mean, it's dealing with massive amounts of information.
That's where these embedding models come in. Remember how we talked about the AI translating your question into a computer-friendly format?
Right, like turning what's the best pizza place in town
Yeah.
into something a computer can actually understand.
Exactly. That query is then converted into like a numerical representation called a vector.
A vector.
Yeah, it's kind of like a unique fingerprint for that question.
Okay, so each question gets its own special fingerprint.
Right.
What about the information in the knowledge base?
Well, the really cool part is the embedding model creates similar fingerprints for every piece of information in the knowledge base.
Oh.
So imagine each book article, data point, whatever, having its own unique numerical code.
So it's like the Dewey Decimal System, but way more complex.
Exactly. And because everything is represented numerically, Argy can very quickly compare the question fingerprint to all the fingerprints in the knowledge base and look for the closest matches.
So it's like a super fast pattern recognition system to find the most relevant info.
Exactly. No more manually searching through endless files or web pages.
That's incredible.
Yeah, this speed and efficiency is what makes Argy so powerful. It can sift through terabytes of data in seconds, finding connections and insights that would take humans, hours, days, or even weeks to uncover.
It really shows how RAG isn't just about making AI smarter. It's about like augmenting human capabilities.
Right.
We can now tackle problems and analyze information on a scale that was like unimaginable before.
Absolutely. The potential applications are mind-boggling. We've talked about medical and financial data, but imagine connecting Argy to all the world's scientific research.
Or a database of historical documents.
Exactly. You could ask anything and get answers based on the latest research, historical trends, even patterns hidden within vast data sets.
That is amazing. But all this being said, we have to acknowledge that there are challenges involved with building and maintaining these knowledge bases.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, for one, you need to make sure the data is accurate and complete.
Right. Even a small error could lead to bigger problems down the line.
Exactly. And then there's the whole issue of keeping these knowledge bases up to date. The world is constantly changing, new research is coming out, data needs to be updated and refined.
That sounds like a ton of work, especially with knowledge bases that span multiple fields.
It is, and then we have to make sure the information is organized and structured in a way that makes sense for the AI.
Right. It's not just about dumping data into a digital warehouse. It's about creating a system where AI can access, process, and draw meaningful conclusions from that data.
Exactly. And as these knowledge bases grow and become more complex, the challenges just become greater.
For sure, it makes you really appreciate the work that goes into making RAG a reality. But amidst all these technical details, I'm really curious about the human side of this technology. Like, how is RAG actually being used in the real world to solve problems?
Yeah, let's move from the theoretical to the practical and explore some real-world examples of how RAG is being used in different fields.
Okay, so we've talked about all the technical stuff and the challenges, but I'm ready to see how RAG is making a real difference out there in the world.
Yeah, me too. I mean, it's one thing to get the concept, but seeing it in action is really cool.
Absolutely. And, one area where RAG is already making waves is customer service. Imagine like contacting a company and instead of getting stuck in a chatbot loop, you're connected to an AI assistant that can pull up your account, details your product history, even like past interactions you've had with the company.
Wow, that would totally change the customer service game.
Right. No more repeating your issue over and over again or getting those generic responses that don't help at all.
Yeah.
And because RA can access the company's policies, product manuals, even customer feedback, the information you're getting is accurate and relevant to your situation.
It's like having a personal customer service agent who knows your whole history with the company and can give you solutions based on that.
And it goes way beyond customer service. Think about education.
Oh, yeah.
Students could use RA-powered AI tutors to get personalized help with their studies.
That's awesome.
I know these tutors could pull up textbooks, online resources, even the students' own class notes, and then give them targeted explanations and practice problems.
That would be a game changer for students who are struggling or want to learn more about a certain topic.
Right? It can make education more accessible and engaging for everyone.
Totally. And speaking of accessibility, RAG has huge potential in the field of research.
Oh, for sure.
Researchers could use AI to analyze tons of data, identify relevant studies, even summarize those super complex research papers.
That would save so much time and energy.
I know, right? And then they could focus on the important stuff like, interpreting the results, drawing conclusions, making new discoveries.
It's like having a research assistant who can process information at lightning speed and see connections that we might miss.
And it's not just about speed. RAG could connect researchers from different fields, leading to more collaboration and new ideas.
Oh, wow. Imagine an AI that can see the big picture and connect the dots across different areas of
Yeah,
knowledge.
that could lead to some major breakthroughs.
I love it. The possibilities really are endless. From healthcare to legal research. RA is going to revolutionize so many industries.
It really is more than just a tech innovation. It's a whole new way of thinking about information.
Totally. It's about empowering people with knowledge, making information more accessible, and helping us solve problems.
Well said.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into RAG, I think it's safe to say we've only just begun to explore this amazing tech.
For sure, it's a constantly evolving field, and we're going to see even more cool developments in the years to come.
So as always, stay curious, keep exploring, and who knows, maybe you'll be the one to unlock the next big breakthrough in RAG. Until next time.
See you.